Let's go. MLB is front stage, but hockey is paying some bills right now. Covers his puck props presented by Bet99. Let's go. Happy to see the chat pumping up for the pumpers. Hit that like button, comment, share, subscribe from producer Mick. Hit all those things. Good to see Joe Osborne in the chat. And he says, in my best Joe Osborne voice, how about a little respect for those Pittsburgh Penguins? How about a little respect for anybody but the Leafs, bud? Wake up Woodbridge was a rough day. So let's kick things off. We're over 11 units on the season. We had 7 units last Friday. If you're just joining in, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday covers his puck props presented by Bet99. We go. Let's play a quick round of Would You Rather. Now, this has nothing to do with salary, like just which player you'd want on your team over Austin Matthews right now, because no, but it's an honest question, right? Like, let's be honest. I think the 60-goal thing is 69 goals is an outlier.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
So and I think he's still overpriced in the market. He's like the number 4 betting favorite for the Rocket. And I don't think he should be there. All right, let's go. We start with the easy ones. Basically just going down the MVP list. McKinnon. Matthews.
Oh, McKinnon.
Okay. McDavid. Matthews.
McDavid.
Kaprizov. Matthews.
I would go Kaprizov.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a no doubt Kaprizov there. Draisaitl. Matthews.
Draisaitl.
Kucherov. Matthews.
Kucherov.
Okay, this is where it gets a little dicier, though. Eichel or Matthews?
Eichel.
Oh, I like it. We have not practiced this at all. Pasternak or Matthews?
I would go Matthews on this one.
I think he brings more defensively, like he has a full game, but I still think Pasternak right now is a better scorer.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I don't think there's I don't think there's a right or wrong answer to some of these. Most of these there is a right or wrong answer, but I think the next couple that you share, I would rather have Makar than Matthews.
Quinn Hughes or Matthews?
Quinn Hughes. Wow, this is a good one. I'll go Matthews because you build around center iceman.
Okay. Jack Hughes.
I'm still taking Austin Matthews because I believe in his overall game than Jack Hughes, even though Jack Hughes dominated.
Would you take either Caulfield or Suzuki?
I would not. No, not over Austin Matthews.
Mitch Marner or Austin Matthews?
I'd go Mitch Marner on this one because I think part of what's missing right now in this Leafs team is like somebody who can take over a game. And I know William Nylander has that capability, but he's already been called up with a coach, and he's a guy that's still finding a way to get his points, and he should. I mean, he's that good of a player. But Marner regular season as a member of the Toronto Maple Leafs was a guy that you would notice a lot in a lot of the games that he played because he had difference maker mentality. Like he would help create a play. He would help players around him be better. I just don't see Austin Matthews making players that play with him be better.
Nick Porto. And it's funny. It's like, okay, let's not be typical Leafs fans, but right now it's not good hockey. And no, like what other top line guy just can't find another winger?
Okay, but again, like we talked about this on my show this morning. Like, why is it always about finding a winger to play with Austin Matthews?
Why can't he drive the line?
That's what I'm saying. Like Sidney Crosby and Connor McDavid haven't played with the best wingers, but look at what he's turned the players that he's played with into. I mean, Chris Kunitz, Connor Sherry, Jake Gensel, Pascal Dupuis. Connor McDavid was playing with Kasperi Kapanen last year at one point. And Zach Hyman. And like at some point when you're labeling a guy or you have a belief in a player like Maple Leaf fans do and management does, at some point, you got to point the finger directly at him and say, okay, you can't worry about who's playing with you. If you want to be the guy that everybody's labeling you to be, you got to make guys that you play with better.
And yeah, you have Pasternak sitting there playing with Elias Lindholm and
Morgan Geekie.
Morgan Geekie, and he's still producing.
So, I mean, let's look at who the Pittsburgh Penguins are playing with.
Brian Rust and Ricard Raquel. Ricard Raquel's sitting there just loving life playing next to Sidney Crosby.
Okay, well, let's see who Edmonton Oilers are playing with Connor McDavid.
I think Podkolzin
and Draisaitl. Like who's Nathan McKinnon playing with?
Arturi Lehkonen and Marty Nagys. But Marty Nagys.
Okay, so like you have one good player on your right side, and you have a guy that you've developed chemistry on your on your other side. So
exactly like a Barbashev with Eichel, right? Like maybe not a power play guy. Yeah.
This narrative that the Leafs miss Marner, I'm not buying it. Like at the end of the day, you have to decide who you want to be, and you have to be the guy that drives the bus to make everybody around you better. And that's the pressure that's going to be on Austin Matthews this year, because there isn't going to be the guy on Mitch Marner on his wing who he's always believed that should be the guy in Toronto above Matthews. Because remember, when everybody was slumping, it was always like, oh, we got to get Marner on his wing to get him out of his slump. And he was just going back and forth. So it's time to man up if you're Austin Matthews.
Does Vladdy Guerrero not have anybody in his corner saying, don't you want a Matthews jersey that's like within the last 2 years that has a C on it instead of the A jersey? That was the first thing I saw when he was wearing his jersey. He was wearing his Matthews A jersey.
Who, Guerrero? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of like maybe somebody might want to give him an upgraded version of it.
It only looked better with the C on it for sure.
Yeah.
Today we got a decent slate today. Some interesting things, that's for sure. We start off Minnesota at New Jersey. New Jersey on the second of back-to-back. New Jersey minus 135 on the money line. Over under sitting at 5.5. And the plays out of the gates, we go Dawson Mercer for a point plus 105 and Vlad Tarasenko for a point at plus 120. New Jersey played last night, so likely a Nico Dawes game, which would be his first start of the year. Interesting spot, and we don't see it often, but it's another angle that we talk about coming home with responsibilities as a player. The back-to-back, where the first game's on the road, but the second game is at home.
Yeah.
Isn't that a weird distraction?
Not really.
No?
No, if anything, you have the early morning skate, right? Unless you decide to change it with the road team. And you think that you're probably going to use the energy that the crowd provides for you to get you through the game. I don't think there's a preference between one or the other. I think the only way guys would have a problem with any sort of back-to-back is if there's a time change, right? Like I remember when I was with, who was it? Was I with Detroit? And we would go, sorry, it was with St. Louis. So St. Louis was Central Time Zone, and we would play Columbus back-to-back. So we'd play the first game in Columbus, and then the second game. So first game Saturday night in Columbus, and then the second game at 5:00 in the afternoon on Sunday. And it's like, well, wait a minute. Why would you do, or sorry, it was home in St. Louis, Sunday in Columbus. Should have been the other way around, because you grew 5:00 game. Now you lose an hour because you had to come home. So those are the ones that guys probably get upset about. But back-to-back, home or away, the way these guys travel, the way they eat, the way they sleep, like there's no real difference as to advantage home or away.
All right. It's still interesting to see New Jersey at minus 135 here on the second of a back-to-back versus a decent Minnesota team who kind of, we talked about it last week, we're on fire on the power play, right? Hadn't scored 5-on-5 goals. Well, it's kind of burning them now. 0 for 8 on the power play over their last 8 chances. Marco Rossi missed last game, so it was Kaprizov, Boldy, Zach Bogosian's also out. Tarasenko, point plus 120. He was with PP1, even with Rossi in on Sunday. So I'm comfortable with that, not having to wait to see what the skate is and see what Rossi's doing. What else? New Jersey has moved Mercer to power play 1 and Meyer to power play 2. And you would think, okay, maybe they want to balance the power play lines like some teams do now. No, PP1 played almost 3-1 last night, so Mercer getting more minutes up there. And Minnesota, last of a 5-game road trip, held a team meeting before the Montreal game. They gave up goals early, but eventually came back. Is that kind of weird to have like a team meeting? It's not like we got to talk, but I don't know. I was reading that they had a team meeting before that.
Where was the Montreal game? Was that in Montreal?
Why did I say before the Montreal win? No, before
Rangers.
Rangers win. They're down 2-0 early to the Rangers.
Yeah, sorry, I was confused because I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't seen
I
haven't
do
seen
those
the Minnesota
games.
Wild
I
play. I
do
do those games. Sorry. So, what was your question?
Why am I so handsome?
You're born with good looks, man.
I know. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Maybe it's Maybelline. No, what do we got here? No, that they had a team meeting.
Well, I mean, they lost 3 in a row going into that Rangers game. So, and the last game was an overtime loss to the Flyers. So it's understandable that even if it's early in this season, you don't want these bad things to stretch out longer than they need to. So you're on the road. It's an easy way to have everybody around in a hotel room, call a team meeting, and just try to correct things that maybe you aren't happy with about your game. And clearly it worked. They went into New York. And I don't know if it worked because they had the team meeting or if it was just because they went into New York and played the Rangers.
Yeah.
A place that the Rangers haven't been very good at. And they did score a goal in that game, but they did suffer another loss in that game. So I think, if you had to sort of try to handicap this game, Minnesota is in a good spot on the last game of their road trip because they've had a couple of days now to reflect on their last win. But they're also the rested team because New Jersey is playing on the back-to-back, and you're getting their backup goalie or their third goalie, not even their backup goalie, their third goalie, Nico Dawes. So
I agree.
Could be a good way to finish a road trip that started off very troubling, losing the first 3.
All right, another interesting one. I think there's going to be a lot of action on this. I feel like I'm on the square side of it for sure, though. Detroit, Buffalo. This is minus 110 aside, over under sitting at 6. I don't understand how Detroit isn't a favorite in this game. I think they have the schedule rest, the schedule advantage too, an extra day. Let's go Casper for a point at plus 115. Let's go instead of Detroit money line or Detroit 3-way. Let's just go goals versus Buffalo. Why not? Mm-hmm. Detroit team total over 3.5 plus 140. That is a big price. And then we'll stick with the theme that has been the theme for the entirety of the year here on Puck Props. And that's just getting top line guys on PP1 at good prices. And that's Zach Benson for a point at minus 115. Mm-hmm. Todd McClellan is now the number 2 betting favorite for Jack Adams plus 750. They are the best team in the Atlantic, are they?
I think you and our boy Andy Francis mocked at me when we did our season preview show, and I said, "Hey, Detroit, maybe Atlantic Division champions at plus 3,300." You guys, you're nuts. No
was
way,
it 3,300?
I believe it was 3,300.
Wow, that's nuts.
Yeah, and I mean, absolutely an early candidate for the Jack Adams, but it's early in the season. But if you were to expect this type of start to carry on through the regular season, Detroit's going to be a top team. And look, you got to be happy with where they stand and the results that they're getting because they're finding ways to win. I mean, they won their last 2 games, 2 of the last 3 games without Lucas Raymond, one of their best players available. They've been winning. They've been splitting their goaltending starts between Gibson and Talbot. Talbot's 3-0 on the year. Is this a Talbot start?
Must be a Talbot start. Not sure. Just there's been so much rest. No one's been announced yet.
Right. So regardless, you got to like what, aside from their opening night of the season where they got their lunch handed to them by the Montreal Canadiens, they've been very impressive with their 5-1 record. And for Buffalo, again, they lose another close one on Monday in Montreal, a third period meltdown. They were tied going into it. But you look at their last 2 home games, they've won some pretty good games. They beat Ottawa. Remember that 8-4 game, and then they shut out the Florida Panthers on home ice. So maybe that's why the odds makers are looking at this as a 50-50 type of game, because as bad as things look in Buffalo, they've been pretty good on home ice their last 2 games. And at some point, like, you can't expect Detroit to like win every game.
No.
Even though they are playing really good hockey right now.
Look good. There's a smart Chris Catano in the chat saying, I took McClellan when Carlos said it. It was 22-1. Look at
McClellan or Detroit.
What's that?
McClellan or Detroit?
Looks like he took McClellan for Coach of the Year. So
okay. Yeah.
I was just looking as you're talking, because I think at least he's within the top 10 of the league right now. Dylan Larkin is the most valuable player to this team. You saw him persevere without Lucas Raymond, which was, his sidekick constantly. He's playing with a rookie in Finney, and this is a team that keeps winning. Where do you think his price is right now for MVP?
Sorry, who was that?
Dylan Larkin.
Where do I think his price is for MVP? It's
or like top what?
6 or 7 to 1, no?
125 to 1.
Okay.
And now
I was being generous.
Now we're talking.
How about Eichel right now? Art Ross.
I know. Might have to get rid of my Eichel.
I hate you. I hate that you couldn't get that in for me.
I know. If he wins, you'll really hate me.
Yeah.
No,
hold on. Has Eichel's price changed?
No.
He's still 40 to 1?
Oh, yeah. That's changed. Eichel is top 4 right now. He's 7 to 1 right now.
Oh my goodness, how much you missed out on.
Oh, I love you too. Let's go. Larkin, it's the first star of the week. 4 goals, 5 assists, 4 games. He's the real deal. Came to miss 1 more game. He missed the last one, but McClellan said that he was going to miss 2 games. So I'm pretty comfortable here that Marco Kasper is going to be up on PP1. Seen it in the chat already. He stacks with Alex DeBrincat, which is a good spot. And Detroit's off since Sunday, and I don't see this as a coin flip. And like I said, I wanted that team total instead of the money line. On the other side, you got Zach Benson playing top line in PP1. That's where you go at that price. I think at any spot, you take that. Any player, PP1, line 1. He's 16 plus minutes even in those spots. I think minus 115 is a great spot, but it's just like the expected metrics too, like Buffalo, bottom 3rd expected goals against per 60 at all strengths, bottom 4 expected goal for percentage at all strengths. Detroit, top 4 expected goal for percentage. Sounds dorky, but at the end of the day, those are some pretty key numbers. And the stacks in this game are Benson, Thompson, Tuck, McLeod. That's second PP, 3rd or second line, Larkin, Raymond, and Kasper and DeBrincat. That's what we got there. Should be a good one there. Montreal, Calgary. Montreal. If you would have told me at the beginning of the year, Montreal's minus 125 road favorites versus Calgary, would you? It'd be tough to think about it right now, but you're like, it's best case scenario for both teams on this point where Montreal's playing their best hockey. Jakub Dobeš is pushing for number 1 duties, and Calgary, can we say comfortably right now? I know San Jose doesn't have a win, but is Calgary the worst team in hockey right now?
It's debatable for sure. You're at 1-6, and clearly not the start they envisioned with the year they had last year, and just even some of the commitments they made to some of their players and coach. So I kind of feel like this is a very desperate spot that Calgary finds himself in, because the season could be quickly lost this early in the season if they don't find a way to turn it around. So I think a good test for them. You've got a good Montreal team coming in, and I know they're trying to figure out their whole backup goalie situation and maybe not try to ride Dustin Wolf as hard as they are. But what do you do if you're the coach? You can't let this season get away from you. You got to find a way to get your guns to move this team in the right direction. And I kind of feel like this could be the spot. They're 0-3 at home. Like, they're due for a home win, are they not?
I don't know, but this is Montreal's first game of their first West Coast road trip, right?
Montreal's been good, man. I've been telling people, I'm not saying this to be biased because I cover the team, but I've watched a lot of hockey, and Montreal could be a threat this year, man. They're a really exciting hockey team to watch.
But is this a good schedule spot for Montreal? Game 1 of that road
trip,
right?
Yes, of course.
Especially with Edmonton coming up, you're like, you got to take game 1.
Yeah, I'm doing that game Thursday. So yeah, when you're out west, you kind of look at the games and you say to yourself, okay, which ones are the gettable games? And this is clearly one of them, right? So, and in Calgary's eyes, it's desperate times, man. Need a win.
Perez is saying, I'm a Flames fan. I love this. Got a lot of tradable assets, and there's a hell of a draft engaged to tank. And obviously, with the salary cap going up, people can absorb some higher contracts. No, like
Yeah.
who entices you in Calgary? Obviously, Kadri would be top of that list.
Well,
But like,
Rasmus Anderson will draw a lot of attention on defense. Who are their other guys? Just pulling up their roster right now.
I mean, you got like the Backlund Coleman connection there for like
Yeah, Coleman will probably attract some attention too, just because of his playoff experience.
You should take both of those. So that's a good combo. Those guys played well together. That's kind of like the discounted Sorelli Hagel combo. Obviously, they're not that good, but that
I don't know. I don't know what they do with Mackenzie Weegar. Like, he's one of their top defensemen, and he's locked in. Yeah, it's a good question. They're not trading Backlund because I think he wants to retire there. I mean, could you maybe part with a guy like Huberdeau? I don't know.
He probably needs a new environment. No.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The last game was his first game back, or first game played this season because of something he was dealing with through preseason. But I mean, does he need a fresh start somewhere? I think that he's going to return to his 100+ point form that he got traded with is delusional. So if anything, what are you getting? A 50, 60 point player? I think that's what he is right now.
Yeah, agreed. Farabee, Frost, Huberdeau, Sharon Govich. There are some pieces, maybe not the most appetizing of pieces.
They're not trading those guys. They're trying to build around those guys.
Yeah, I think.
Okay,
sure. I don't know. I thought Mangiapane would have been a middle six build around guy. Obviously, that didn't. Anderson, yep. I don't know. Calgary team total under 2.5 is plus money. That's actually a very good look there. Mikey glove saves. I would probably want Dobish in net for that. I think you'd maybe wait for that. Kirby Dach could be back today, which is interesting. How do you think that shakes up the lines? You still say they keep that Newhook, Kapanen, Demidov line together? I know.
Yeah,
I think
that ain't changing. Kirby Dach was playing third line center. Actually, no, he wasn't. Kapanen got elevated to that line because of the Dach injury, but I think Dach would I think they would slide him back into there and put Kapanen in his regular spot, and Joey Veleno or Owen Beck would come out, one of those two guys.
Yeah.
Because Kapanen, I know he did score last game, but Dach was playing pretty good the last couple games with that line of Newhook and Demidov. But in the games that Kapanen and Demidov played together early on, they developed some nice chemistry. So maybe Marty St. Louis looks at this and says, okay, it's been a couple games in. Maybe I want to keep these guys together. And it all depends on what it is that Dach is dealing with or what he's been out with, and what you trust him to do when he does play, if he deems himself ready.
Awesome. The Bet99 boost today is on. This is what we're rolling with, so it will come out later today. Probably my two favorite short price double stack in Nick Suzuki and Cole Caulfield, who is just, I know I got the slap point already, but those two are about as easy as an even money bet gets. If you can get that at even money almost in any game, I think that's where you go with it. And then I just got to double check so I don't say the wrong thing. And then we go Larkin and Raymond, who is also one of my favorite guys at even money or better. So those two stacks and two different games are going to get that boosted up, I believe. Right now, plus 260, hopefully get better than that. So keep an eye on that one. And before we go, I did have, I tweeted out today, the Maple Leaf Atlantic Division final standings, 1-8. The shortest price on that is still first place at plus 290.
On the Maple Leafs.
Yeah.
So people still believe that this is just a blip in the road.
Okay, so like 7th and 8th are tough to do, obviously, but like 7th is 12-1, 6th is 10-1, 5th is 7-1, and 4th is plus 550. You see a spot where they finish outside the top 3 easily?
I wouldn't say
if this is what we get, I'm
easily.
not a doomer, but I'm just saying, if this is what we get for the Leafs this year, and they're maybe one injury away from not having much offensive depth.
Maybe they just suffered it with Chris Tanev, right?
Or yeah.
So and maybe it gets worse if something happens to Stolarz.
Yeah. So things could obviously be worse.
Yeah.
Where do you see? Would you rather, if you had to put your money down right now, 1st to 3rd, 4, 5, 6, or 7 or 8?
I still think they're a 1st to 3rd type of team, but would being a wild card team really hurt this team's playoff chances? I don't know. They've never been it. So if you're trying to change things, maybe they're a 4th, maybe they're a wild card team and they slide into the Metro Division and have to go through the Metro Division instead of the Atlantic.
Awesome. But the hockey season doesn't start until the baseball season's over, right, pal?
It's true.
That's how that works.
True. Yeah,
it is.
It is absolutely true.
Plays are down there, but it's good for the Leafs that the Blue Jays are doing that. Mercer point plus money, Tarasenko point plus money, Casper point plus money, Detroit team total over plus money. Benson minus 115 for a point, Slav same price, and then the Montreal throughway plus 123 games, and then hopefully the boosted double stack coming later with the boys from Montreal and and Detroit. But yeah, there's those double stacks I like today. Let's keep winning, pal. I appreciate it. Appreciate the pumpers there. And on your way out, hit that like button, subscribe. Our numbers are doing great this year, so keep it up. Spread the word. Covers his puck props presented by Bet99. Josh Ingles, Carlo Colaiacovo. See you back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Appreciate you, pal.
I appreciate you. Ciao.